Hello everybody, I'm Raphael Perry, and once again I find myself returning to the Fabled Lands. Now, Golden of a Warrior's adventures have been lengthy and quite entertaining. However, there's been a recent development. Look closely. He's not wearing his eye patch anymore. All of those healing potions he's drank must have slowly begun to restore his sight to the point where he can take his eye patch off and finally just breathe as he gets to see everything in 3 dimensions once again. And that power of depth perception returning is brilliant. Now, why could this be? Could it be because of the patch that launched today that blatantly added the new character customization features? Yes, it is, and we're going to go look at those right now. Right now. So, for a long time, people have been requesting character customization features, visual character customization features, so they look different. And we get quite a few of them. Now, for the warrior, they're a bit subtle, right? We get these 2 heads here. You know, we have no hair on top or hair on top. And then we get the 2 same options with different beards. We have, from the squares, we can have fur with spiky claws, or a kind of leather version of this. And then we can have a matching lower portion, or we can mix it up a bit, you know? And then we can have scars on the face or the eye patch. But hey, you know, there's girls as well, right? And we get a few different head versions. I kind of like that one. And this one's a bit spunky as well. They're nice, you know, and a little bit different. Again, it's a feminine version of the male options. And we get the scars or the eye patch. For the mage, we get a few different hair options. Rod, here referring to the wand, so it can be a straight wand, a crooked wand, or indeed a staff with a beautiful blue ball in the top, or a staff with a crystal. And then for the artifact, this dangling thing with a belt that looks a little like a potion bottle, we can have a sort of puzzle box or a cube with a light on one side, a sort of sunburst. I like the sunburst. And then for the book, we can have a chaos spiky book with teeth and tentacles. Or a book with very sharp corners and heavy bookmark pages that seem to be trying to almost turn themselves, or partially turned and not quite settled yet. And of course for man, we have some different, you know, you can have straighter hair, less sort of dreadlocky, or kind of scruffy, a bit kind of, you could call that one slick, I suppose. Or this one, where he looks like he's gone to university or something. We have the straight wand, the crooked wand, the staff with the blue ball, and the staff with the crystal. We get the cube, the sunburst, and back to the original. As for books, we have the normal book, the spiky tentacle book of death, and the very sharp cornered book with the pages turning. For the priest, he can have a long beard, makes him look a bit like a Russian priest almost, or maybe like a yogi. And then this kind of curly beard and hair with no moustache. The staff, we have a nice sort of very natural looking staff as opposed to this curving one. And then this one, which is more like a kind of hockey stick. We can change the colour of his robes, and also the colour of and shape of his ornamentations. Not so much colour really. And of course there's a girl version. She can have different hair with a nice little headdress there, or even just covered with ornaments. I mean, that's a great one. I like that. She gets the same 2 staves as the man. I like this one, right? And then we can change the colour of her outfit a bit. Same 3 options, you know, we get the default one, the darker one, and then the kind of want to say slightly, it's not lighter, but it's less green, more sort of yellowy focused. Right, and then we get the same, yeah, we get the heavy, original, the light, and then this one, which is more angular. We get the rogue. You know, sometimes she just chops her ponytail off, gets a bit of a new hairdo, or just wears a hood. We get the katana, like blade. It's not the sort of more, I want to say, that's more like a falchion, really. You could almost call it a scimitar, and a kind of rapier. And we can replace her bags and pouches here with some throwing daggers, or some, you know, bottles. Lots of potion or poison bottles. Makes her look a little bit like a witcher. And then she can have a little rat sitting on her shoulder, a snake wrapped around her shoulders, or even a sort of lizard thing. And of course the man gets similar options. He gets slightly different. So he can have ponytail with a mask over his eyes, or hair down the mask over his eyes. And the swords, we got the katana-like blades, the rapier blades, and the scimitar blades. Slight awkwardness. He gets katana, rapier, scimitar, and the woman gets katana, scimitar, rapier. So the order is different. Just bear that in mind. If it feels a little bit like it might not have been intended and they were supposed to mirror, because with most of the other classes they do mirror, and the same number will be the same thing on both versions. But yeah, so what was it? Go there, go there. Let's go that one. And you know, bags can go to the throwing daggers, or the many bottles, and he can have the rat, the snake, or the lizard. The Wayfarer can have a beard and look much more manly. He can also have a beard with less visible hair, or just like really straight hair. We can change his bow to be more of a recurve, less chunky, or even a much more modern, slender, slim-looking bow. Only 3 weapon options here. Sorry. His bundle of rope can be replaced with a bag of herbs and various things that he's picked up along the way. Or, you know, a dagger and some little pouches here hanging. Hang on, is the pouches always there? Yes, they are. No, they're not. Okay. And then he can have a little bird sitting on his shoulder. Or an owl. I like the owl. Is that some kind of... What is that? It's a little bit like a raven or crow, but an incredibly fat one with a slightly deformed beak. I'm not sure. That's some kind of fantasy bird. And of course the girl here, she's got her plait. She can change that to... she's got like a feather in her hair, or a weird little bit of mud or something. Or this one, which is really long and flowing with some leaves in there. The bow, we can change her default slender bow to the thick chunky bow, or the new modern one, the third one, yeah. And for the rope, we have the dagger with the pouches and the herb pouches. These are slightly different orders as well, so it's like the male and female rogue. You have to just bear in mind, if you just like clicking, oh yeah, I want item 2, you're like, oh, that's not what I wanted, you know, item 3. And of course, she can have this bird. It's like a hawk or falcon, the owl, or the whatever this thing is. Of course, the troubadour. You know, she can put her hair up a bit, look a bit more respectable, or kind of up but scruffy. We can change the loot to a few different models. I kind of like that one. And change the necklace. We get this nice blue version here, very eye-catching. This natural one with all the nuts and berries and leaves. Oak leaves and acorns, I think, actually. Right, and she can have a little yellow bird, a little yellow songbird sitting there on the end of her lute. Or a blue Twitter bird? I don't use Twitter. And a little round, red robin. And of course, for man, you can have like a sort of Elvis quiff. Or a kind of slick, grizzled adventuring look. Well, not quite grizzled, he looks kind of sharp, and he gets the same instrument options as the lady. And of course he can also arrange this blue sparkly arrangement of flowers on the front of his cloak, or even, the acorns and oak leaves. And of course he can have the yellow bird, the blue bird, which here really looks like some kind of thing that would have blue ticks associated with some people and not so much with others, and a little red bird as well. So yeah, lots of fun character options to play with. Unfortunately, these can't be used on existing saves, but I think I'll start a new save at some time soon. But hey, let's go take a quick look back at Lorga, because obviously he doesn't have his eye patch because it's now a character customization feature. So while he hasn't regained any hair, it just didn't grow back, but he's been able to take his eye patch off. So, no, let's go to the Haunted Hills and look for the dragon. If we get killed by the dragon, that's great, we can start a new character. Hey, outlaws! You're ambushed by a group of outlaws in wolf pelt jerkins. They jump up from behind a ridge. You see at a glance that they far outnumber you, but they make no move to attack. Their leader signals for his men to lower their crossbows before scrambling down from the ridge to speak with you. No offence, he says with a grin, but one lone wanderer isn't worth the trouble of robbing. Maybe he'd think differently if he could see inside your money pouch, or perhaps they are really put off because you look too tough to handle without casualties. See if you can impress them by making a thievery roll and a charisma roll, both at difficulty 13. Well, I'm probably going to fail at least one of these. There we go. Oh, failed both. Okay, I'll use a blessing. Kinda need to pass at least one of these, I think. After a friendly chat around their campfire, you settle down with the outlaws overnight and make ready to travel on the next morning. You recover one stamina point if injured. It is only after you have gone several miles that you think to look in your belt pouch. You find that all your money is there. No, not all of it. One single shard has been taken. Well, they've got standards to maintain, I suppose. You smile and close the pouch. People say there is no honour among thieves, but there is certainly pride. Okay, no dragon. Where do I want to go? I can try and go back down to Castle Ravane and learn. Yeah. I don't fancy going through the forest again, so let's go to the Tower of Despair, because that's not an off-putting name at all. Wind whistles across a wide expanse of heathland dotted with just a few scattered hamlets. To the north, half hidden in the murk of low cloud, looms the snow-peaked mountain range known as the Spine of Harkoon. You seek high and low, but after many days you have to admit you are stumped. Even though there are many legends of the Tower of Despair in these parts, you cannot find any sign of it. You stand on the wind-swept endless plains and wonder where you should seek your next adventure. You probably despaired of looking for it. It probably can be discovered somehow. Okay, well, we'll head down this way. The endless plains of a breadbasket of Golnir. A vast, rolling expanse of fields that gleam in summer like quilts of gold. Pretty whitewashed villages nestle beside lazy streams. The farms are filled with plump livestock. Danger is unknown to the inhabitants of this idyllic landscape. When you are ready, you head on towards fresh pastures. Well then. Wheatfields is in the very heart of the fertile countryside of Golnir and forms the hub of trade to the hinterland. You can buy a townhouse here for 100 shards. You know what? That's probably quite affordable right now. but I'm saving for an expensive skill book, and I should try and get that first, then see what else. And Lorga hasn't managed to purchase a dwelling place at all yet. He's constantly wandering around, roaming about in search of adventure. A visit to Wheatfield's market is a noisy, bustling affair. You force your way through crowds of farmers who have come to trade their cattle. Outside the taverns, merchants from the south lean eagerly across the tables as they discuss the year's grain prices. Well, do you have paper? Do you have parchment with which I could note? No map-making parchment here. You pass rumbling ox-drawn carts and mule trains laden with grain and cloth. Much trade passes up and down this road. Ah, an uneventful journey, or safe as we should call it. The region between Delpton and Castle Ravane is a patchwork of tranquil fields and meadows. It seems that nothing intrudes on the slow, contented pace of daily life hereabouts. Delpton is all the way up here. Castle Ravane is here. This is hardly between the two. If it's referring to this area, that might make a little more sense. Ah, another uneventful journey. Let us enter the castle. The black turrets of Castle Ravane rise above the treetops. From the topmost tower flutters the black lion banner of the Ravane clan. This is the stronghold of Varna, Baroness of Ravane. We shall enter the castle. You near the heavy drawbridge. As a member of the nobility, you are admitted to the castle without delay. Peasants' carts are pushed aside by the sentries so that you can sweep majestically past on foot. Castle Ravane is virtually a city in its own right. The outer courtyard is filled with stables, grain stores, pens for livestock, carpentry yards, and a smithy. Nearby, some knights are keeping fighting fit by charging with lances at a straw-filled dummy. Beyond, another line of defences encloses the inner keep. Oh, beyond another? Yeah, it's not... I was like, beyond them. No, it's just beyond the whole outer courtyard, really. The armoury in Castle Ravane resounds with the clamour of hammers on anvils. The artisans here provide arms and armour for the greatest knights of Golnir. You can buy top-quality equipment or sell anything you do not need. Anything, huh? Anything. Well, why can't I sell some of these things, eh? Right. I would like to purchase this Whirlwind skill book. It is very expensive. Because, as the developers correctly pointed out, I was looking at this wrong. I was sleepy, it was late at night, I didn't see it was green, thought it was grey. And, yeah, I can totally learn this now. Is there an... Ooh, if only I had a little more money. Wait. How much to set... Hold on. Let's learn this first. How much can I sell this for? Ah! Yes, do it. Get that armor on. Defense 17 now instead of the, 15 or 16 I had before? Yeah, 16. It's 1 point of defense, okay, it's not massive. However, now I wait, can I get parchment here? Will you? No, okay. Well then, I will take my lead of the castle by road, heading towards a southern city. You're on the road that follows the banks of the Reese River between Castle Ravane and the port city of Ringhorn. Again, a safe and uneventful journey. Now, I have ships somewhere here. Where are my ships docked? Wishport. Wishport? What's it doing all the way back in Wishport? I'll have to... Oh. Fine, I suppose. Ringhorn receives goods from all along the Reese River, trading along the coast from Utaku to Yellowport, and south to distant Ankon Konu. It is a very large, bustling city. Speaking of Utaku, we should have access to that soon. The game will be emerging from early access and heading on to the pastures new of full-on release, and that will include the Utaku release. If I recall correct, was it? Hang on. Yes. And then I think Old Harkuna will be like worked on as a DLC or something. Or Utaku might be. I can't remember. Sorry guys. I'll have to look that one up in between episodes. But yeah, shouldn't be long now. You can buy a townhouse here for 150 shards. Yep, more expensive than upriver. Ringhorn Market consists of hundreds of stalls crowded into a cobbled square under the walls of the Sheriff's Citadel. That's wonderful. Can they sell me paper? Yes! Okay, Hot Pursuit. Stunning Blow. Could do that. Crippling Strike. Dazed. No stun. Okay, so... teaches you advanced techniques to further debilitate an opponent. Damage inflicted to targets affected by daze, frostbite, poison, or curse will be reduced by 2 minutes. By 2, minimum 1. So minimum 1 damage. Right. Stunning blow. Stunned, not dazed. Got it. Also, looking at our skills, we now have our whirlwind attack skill, so we should absolutely engage groups of enemies with no fear. Well, some fear, maybe, but not much. Alright, anything I've got the flamingo feather. So, I could be brave. Let's go along the coastal road, and I think we all know where I am going to go. You're on the coastal road that snakes along the windswept cliff tops between Ringhorn Port and the market town of Metricians. You meet a militia patrol. A troop of militiamen comes marching along the road. A burly man of arms with wild hair is leading the column, a wicked flail in one hand and a shield adorned with a black boar in the other. The militiamen don't seem to notice you, so you continue on your journey. I'm a noble, don't you know? Allegedly, in theory, a little bit, maybe, I don't know. Well, yes, they let me into Castle Ravane and everything. Lorgar is an important man in this part of the world. At the side of the coastal road, there is a weathered old fort. It looks abandoned, with moss cladding the pitted black stones of its high walls. Its empty windows stare out to sea. It may be a relic from ancient times when the ruthless Utakins swept up out of the south to conquer all Harkuna. I've been in the fort before. I got the good stuff, I'm pretty sure, so I'm going to just carry on my way. I could go down to the beach. I don't think I should just yet. Do I have good reason to go down to the beach? Kill the dragon. Yeah, that's not going to be easy. Map the... hard. Map the span of Harkoon. Ah yes, a wizard's scarab amulet. That'll be over here by the river, won't it? So into Metricians itself. Metricians is a large trading city of broad market plazas and great palaces built by the wealth of the merchant princes. You can buy a townhouse here for 200 shards. The market is one of the largest you have ever seen. It stretches for hundreds of yards through piazzas. No, piazza may be a separate word to plaza because there are 2 Z's. I still haven't looked that up, bizarrely. Piazzas covered with silk awnings along the great esplanade overlooking the bay and through shadowy colonnades that feature... colonnade or colonnade? I'm pretty sure it's colonnade. Colonnade sounds... Look, colonnade sounds technically correct, but it sounds wrong for because it's not an English word. It's like a more Mediterranean word, you know, where fortunes are made and lost in the course of a single conversation. I think I'm thinking too much of a French influence there. That may be very, very wrong. So I'm leaving this city and about to live very dangerously. This part of the country is infamous as the haunt of brigands, smugglers and witches. Let's hope I don't run into some witches. Ah, an uneventful journey. Now, I have been informed that if I venture into Castle Orlock, I should absolutely be a worshipper of the moon god, the hunter, wild goddess, whatever her name is. Lorgar is a devout follower of Turnai, the warrior god. However, whilst on the moors, he learned a poem that warned him that, hey, you could go into the castle and something chased him out. Something chased someone out of the castle, and they would have died if they didn't use a feather. So I got a feather. So guess how brave he's feeling right now. Castle Orlock is a brooding fortress encased behind walls of weathered black granite. The interior is unlit, and in order to explore, you must have a lantern or candle. Well, I don't have one of those. That was anticlimactic, wasn't it? You leave Castle Orlock behind. A mist creeps in on the sea breeze, swirling in pockets across the downs. Hearing a footfall, you look back nervously, but the mist makes it impossible to see if you are being followed. I must make a scouting roll. Oh dear, that's not good, is it? A heavy hand descends on your shoulder. Hot, blood-soaked breath warms your neck but chills your spine. I've got a flamingo feather! You thrust the flamingo feather over your shoulder, tickling the fiend's nose so that it sneezes violently. As you feel its grip loosen, you break free and run for all you're worth until you're safely away from Castle Orlock. Did I get to keep the feather? Where am I? Oh, I'm back here. Okay. No witches, please. Smugglers, you say? Oh yeah, let's fight. You see a group of smugglers bringing their contraband ashore by the light of the moon. Ah, like moonrakers. The smugglers stop rolling their barrels of whiskey up the beach and stare in amazement as you approach, girded as I am in my magnificent full plate armor. Yeah, that didn't impress them very much. They fear you might tell the authorities about them. 3 of them step forward slowly, moving with the slow, crab-like crouch of wrestlers. You get ready to fight, but you did not notice the smuggler creeping up behind you. He dashes a large stone against your skull and you fall stunned. The smugglers demand a ransom of 100 shards to let you go, otherwise they intend to truss you up and put you aboard the Utakin ship that brought their contraband. Oh hey, great, will that take me? Probably not to Otaku, because we don't have access to that yet, or do we? I think Lorgar's too proud to pay this. Your body is found floating face down under the boardwalk leading to the shipyards. Your great adventuring career has come to a rather ignoble end. You are dead since you did not have a resurrection deal. An unfortunate end for your adventures. Let's start a new game. Now, there are many new options to play about with. I don't know what I want to go for. Why don't you guys let me know what you think you'd like to see me play. I think I would like to bring back the priest class for another go. I haven't really given the rogue a very good run for its money, but the combat skills don't excite me as much, and I'm not sure I'd enjoy playing with class. I've kind of played everything else, but I do think before I go, let's create a very special character. This is Vorga, Lorgar's little sister. I like that one. Bit of fur to keep her warm, or just the kind of plain leathery look. Let's go. I mean, no, if she goes up north, we'll get that fur in there. And you know what? She knows her big brother always wore an eye patch, so you know, and he was a great warrior, so you know, she kind of mutilated herself so that she could wear one too and be just like him. Even though it turned out in the end he never actually needed it, but she never got to know because he never got to get home and tell her. I mean, maybe we should send Vorga out on an adventure. Or perhaps any other character class. Why don't you let me know in the comments section down below, and we'll see what I end up playing next time. Alright, well, I hope you've all enjoyed this episode, and I will absolutely look forward to seeing you all in the very next one. I'm going to say goodbye for now though, and cheerio everyone! Why is it still recording?